three very important things that I would love to see sugarists improve in their technique. Doesn't matter the brand, it doesn't matter. It's really for your longevity, your comfort, and your client's comfort. So the first one I want to address is that flat hand, that coming off the skin flat hand. And watch this, because I think and then maybe even do it on your own skin so you feel everything I'm sharing with you here. Let's say I have sugar on here and I put, I'm pulling and I come off the skin like this. In slow, it would be like fast motion. You would say, oh, what's wrong with that? But in slow motion, you have all this part of your fingers connected into the sugar, connected into the skin. So you have to imagine when you lift up in slow motion, you would see all this come from the skin to the sugar like so. Even, all this is sticking to the skin, but even if you're properly holding the skin taut, it's still going to be a harsher release from the skin. So that's one thing that I would love to see you change and feel the difference, not only on your own skin, but, ask your client, does this feel any different to you? So that you start to realize that's just a little bit more comfort, or what I like to say, you're removing unnecessary discomfort. So for that, you have to remember that your fingertips, even if you're sugaring like this, bring your bring your fingertips parallel to each other, so that when you're coming off the skin, it's barely the tips of your fingers that are connected to the sugar that's connected to the skin, and then go parallel to the skin. And you'll notice a dramatic change. I won't say the brand, I just saw another mini video on their website that pulled the sugar and came off the skin this way. Kind of discouraging, because then that's why I get all these messages, so many that say, I've done waxing and sugaring hurts as much, if not more than waxing. I know this to be not true. I can prove this over and over. So that's one of the important steps I would love for you to practice for yourself. The other would be the dragging, the pulling. I also see people like pulling the sugar. And so you can see in the sugar, you can see like deeper grooves, right? So it's almost where the sugar gets more clear versus the little mountains that build beside each finger. So don't pull the sugar. If you, even keeping the skin taut again, if you pull the sugar, you're pulling on the skin and pulling on the hair underneath. So once again, you're causing unnecessary discomfort. There is a way to sugar where even if the hair is long, which it shouldn't be, because you should have clippers, that you sanitize, or scissors if you have to, but clippers work so much faster, to trim the hair down to a more acceptable length to begin with. Not just for comfort to the customer, but you can sugar faster if the hair's not so long, and you won't cause the pulling effect, and you won't have so much long hair in your sugar, allowing your sugar to last much longer. So don't drag, don't scrape the skin. I also see sometimes, and you can see them on the critiquing videos, where their fingers are a little bit curved under and they're really scraping the skin or scraping the sugar onto the skin. So these two things alone, just these two things, improvement will help the client experience and will help you with the longevity of everything. But there's only one more thing I want to share with you. I wish I could just say, hey, here's our 6 steps, but it's really our signature technique. But I'm happy to discuss with you our first step, step 1 in the 6 steps to perfect sugaring, because it matters definitely to you, to the longevity of your sugaring health. How many people have said, oh, I loved sugaring, but I stopped because my wrist was hurting, my elbow was hurting. I'll show you something else in another video, but right now I want to talk about your hand position when you're actually performing the sugaring. Everybody knows, truth be told, I used to teach where we kept our fingers parallel like this and we sugared like this, right? So we came off the skin this way. It was still parallel to the skin. All of it was right, but I had a lot of pain. I sugared my fingers to the bone, really. I had a lot of pain in my wrist. until, it's not like I'm a genius, guys. Just stuff happens to me, and I think it's just meant to happen. I had these beautiful long nails put on. It was very in back in the, it would have been in like the early 90s. And I thought, holy moly, how am I going to sugar without popping my nails? Because they were all like real, full nail acrylics. So I would sugar like this, and I was afraid to pop my nails. So for the heck of it, I went into this position. I'm showing you right now. And you'll see a lot of competitors trying to mimic this, which is better for the whole sugaring industry if everybody sugars better anyway. So to do this, we call it ergonomically correct for your body language. This will never hurt your wrist and your elbow. And I'll teach the poise of things in another video. And so this automatically takes away any concerns of this action. It's not only comfortable for you, I promise you it's a lot more comfortable. That's why we created the ErgoWave glove to help teach it so that, people don't have to think about their hand positioning all the time and their fingers. But if you practice your hand like this and just try to mold your sugar and come off the skin parallel to the skin, you shouldn't be down like this, right? Because that would be uncomfortable. It's just basically here and come off the skin. You're going to find that everything connects very well. And not only for your clients, but this is more so for your longevity. I hope you'll take time to practice these. But if you want to look at the videos, have a view, just go to the links in our descriptive. I have trouble remembering these silly things. Or if you want to learn more about the 6 steps to perfect sugaring, the Alexandria signature and technique, we have our Sugar Better course, and you can find that on our website.